let's
top that.
let, let's look at this first game. We're gonna look at LSU, FSU. LSU, man, a few years ago they were unbelievable. But the thing that I love, Dara, about this time of the year, whenever the NFL season hasn't started, look, you obviously have got decent games on the Saturday, but you've got this prime time Sunday slot before the NFL kicks off next week, where you've got LSU, FSU, a massive top 10 showdown for week one of the college football season. Number 5 LSU, number 8 Florida State in a rematch. SEC, ACC, two teams that are going to be in it coming to the end of the year. LSU come into a season where they had the SEC West title last year. They've still got a very talented roster with Jayden Daniels. Florida State, who we're going to see, hopefully, please God, in Dublin next year. They're coming off the team's first 10-win season since 2016. And you got Jordan Travis there also. Look, this is a hell of a game. So how do you pick a winner? And I feel like, should we shy away from picking a winner if we look at certain games? Because for me, I just want to sit down and enjoy this game, because it's a perfect game to start the season off with.
Yeah, picking a winner in these big time college football games is just there's no hope for it. You said they're SEC versus ACC. I've always found it funny. This is completely separate from the game, but in a Northern Irish accent, they sound the exact same. SEC and SEC, it's impossible to differentiate them. I've always found that like annoying, and it makes me want to put on an American accent when I'm talking about them. But listen,
this is why we started this podcast, Dara. That is why we've just started this podcast.
Iron out issues like this. So listen, they're two teams with sky high expectations, as I will actually talk about the teams, so I promise. Florida State have a Jared Verse coming back as an edge rusher. He would have been a first round pick last year. Expect big things out of him this season. He decided to stay back for an extra season. On the other side, LSU are coming off like a sort of surprising SEC West win last year. It's one of the things. It'd be a good trivia question in a few years, because they weren't overly impressive all year. Just kind of snuck into that slot after Alabama and picked up a few losses, and all of a sudden they were facing Georgia in Atlanta last December. So both teams are going to be really looking forward to this one. It's in Orlando, I believe. Last year it was in New Orleans, so there's not going to be that home team aspect of it, really, even though we'll probably see a lot more Florida State fans there than LSU, just because it's in Florida. I'm really looking forward to it. As you say, it's Sunday night. It's one of the rare occasions where we get to enjoy college football on a Sunday night instead of a Saturday. It really has an NFL feel with these games, and therefore, if you're just getting into the sport, I think it's a great game to watch to start off, to get you really settled into the sport, because it feels like an NFL game. They always do.
And hopefully for fans in Ireland and the UK, there actually will be somewhere to watch the game. Stay tuned on that. Connell, FSU are going to be one of the favourites to win an SEC title. Like, this is, like, as Dara said there, this is a hell of a game. When you've got guys for LSU coming back like Harold Perkins, you just want to sit down and just enjoy it, man.
Like, yeah, I mean, these two teams are absolutely amazing and like will be favourites for any of their things. And I mean, if LSU just didn't have, Alabama to play pretty much every year, you'd put them down as a favourite, 9 out of 10 times, basically. And I'm really interested. There's a lot of really good players for both teams. Like on FSU's side, they have a wide receiver who transferred in from Michigan State, Keon Coleman. He's like 6'4", just, the prototypical jump ball receiver type of guy. And he actually, at Michigan State, he played basketball there. And if you know anything about college basketball, Michigan State are one of the like premier type programs over there. So, if he's that level of athlete. And then you get over to LSU's side and they have Jayden Daniels, who's, second favorite right now for the Heisman Trophy. And, he had an amazing year last year, threw for, I think, 2,500 yards, something like that, and rushed for 800 and had like 30 touchdowns total last year. It was just amazing. And I think he's coming in with even more confidence this year after an amazing, end to last year. And it's going to be a really interesting matchup. And I think this is really good as well for fans in Ireland, because there's going to be people who are playing in this game for Florida State who, you'll get to go and watch and see in person next year, which I think makes it even more interesting for us on our side anyway.
Right, I said we were going to do it, but you know what, boys? We're going to do it. We're going to do it. LSU are favourites at the moment, at the time of recording, -2.5 on the spread. The game total is over 58.5. Look, we're not going to shout odds here. I'm just going to say, I think FSU, in terms of the spread, caused the upset. It's not an upset, it's an even game. I think it'll be a great game. Who's going to win if we're going to start a whole competition here and we're all like, oh my God, I picked it right, you did.
Okay, so yeah, we'll do that. We'll do one game each week for the picks.
And we can keep a tally. We can keep
we keep a tally.
And the loser, like the worst person, has to basically pay everyone to either get down to Kerry, Armagh, or Dungannon.
I thought you were going to say
Dungannon for us.
I thought you were going to say the national championship game, pay their way over there, but that's okay. Well, hopefully you lose, Michael.
A live watch along of that, and I'll have some pints, and like the person has to pay for it. Deal.
That could work. That could actually work. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm up for that.
We'll go. I'll go LSU week 1, which I'm playing it safe now that I'm scared because we opened up these odds. But yeah, I think LSU just have a slight advantage. There can't be more than a touchdown in this game.
I have zero clue. Like, you could ask me 5 minutes ago, I would have picked like Florida State, and you could ask me 5 minutes from now, and I'd pick LSU. Like, there's pretty much nothing separating these teams, as there was last year, where it was 1 point in it last year as well. So it's not even like that bad. So I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm gonna go with the team who I had kind of maybe making the college football playoff, and that's gonna be FSU. I think they win this one.
I love it. At the moment, we can't watch that game on TV here, but believe me, I sent a very strongly worded article, or an email, sorry. I'm writing too many articles. I sent a very strongly worded email to TNT Discovery this week, folks. Maybe that might fix everything, who knows. If not, I'm sure that us three boys can start, commentating and doing live watch-alongs. We'll see.